Hi, just taking this off already. Hello. How's it going? Okay, just to jump on to relay and update. I feel an obligation certainly to put this up on my YouTube. I haven't put them up yet on my Transcendental meditation at all. So none of my videos of Transcendental meditation have gone up onto my YouTube yet. But I feel an obligation to talk about it again and again and again, because it really is the beginning stages of something beautiful within myself. Let me shut the window. It's a bit loud. Yeah, so it's the start of something beautiful within me, and just one of the most powerful things I've ever done. And I do a lot of stuff, I do a lot of stuff, but I want to talk about it and my experiences with it, playing around with it, and how much it's working for me, and really doing a lot of things for my brain that I just can't believe. Way more powerful than mindfulness. I've said this over and over again. Mindfulness is one thing. It's very worthy too, being present to the moment, practicing my senses, what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling. Walking meditation, sitting meditation, which is mindfulness, right? Being present to the moment and practicing that, seeing what you're seeing, hearing what you're hearing, tasting what you're tasting, smelling what you're smelling, and being grounded and feeling what you're feeling is very worthy. But it's slow, it's hard work, and for me personally, I've always found it really hard to do mindfulness. I just found, and I think it's not just the discipline factor that, look, here's the thing with mindfulness. It's not just the discipline factor of it, it's the fact that it's a slow activation. So it gives you benefits, but the benefits are subtle. So we're talking about subtle benefits. Now, subtle benefits are good when you're at a high level of health, emotional and physical health. If you want a powerful meditation for your emotions, because you're depressed and all that stuff, there's things that are subtly will help, but there's things that will majorly help. And I think my life path has always been, and will always be, let's remove, because I come from such a low place in terms of my depression and all that stuff. I started the journey 10 years ago, but I've still fucked my brain up now. I still haven't, whatever fixed is, and never be complete, but there's still a lot going on. But I've always been interested in not slowly coming up, even though you have to come up slowly somewhat, but in doing things that are going to elevate my state of consciousness, whether that be emotional and physical health, because they're all connected, right? The quickest. That's why I got excited with urine therapy 3 years ago, because as soon as I tried fresh urine, and I wasn't on distilled water, I didn't know anything about, just machine fruit juice distilled water, I didn't know about distilled water from a machine. I was drinking spring water from a bottle, which I thought was better than tap water, which I guess it is, although maybe not, because they're both fucking shit. Bottled spring water is a fucking shit piece. It'll make you sweat like shit, and it doesn't remove toxins, it puts toxins in, but yeah, that's why I got excited. That's why I'm talking to you now, really, because 3 years ago, I was open-minded from the longest time, and for 3 years ago, I read that book, Mark Christie's Urine Perfect Medicine, and I got excited about, I took the fresh urine, and it was such a state jump. This is my point. It was such a state jump, taking fresh urine from bottled spring water and eating garbage, and, it was such a jump that I just got excited to health. Well, I feel like it's the same now with Transcendental meditation. I've tried other stuff, I've tried mindfulness, but like I said, these things are hard work, and they're slow activations. They're for people that like subtlety, that have already got a good foundational base of emotional and physical health, and I never had. And I'm always keen for these things, because it saves people time, because people have busy lives. That's why I'm going to bang on about it, because mindfulness takes time. It was designed for monks. The monks of the world is their presence. It's a funny gift, though, isn't it? It's a funny gift, in my opinion, to be a monk, because how you help in society, hiding away there with other people. You're working on yourself, but who you actually helping? People might not like that, what I just said there. Who you actually helping by being a monk up in a cave? If you're not going to come down like the Dalai Lama or someone else and relay the knowledge to the people like us, who you actually helping? If you're getting high on Kundalini and experiencing bliss and one consciousness for moments at a time, who you actually helping? So that was for them, mindfulness. Transcendental meditation is for us, and it's not a normal meditation. I've said it before. It's not a guided visualization. It's not a guided meditation. It's way more powerful, and it activates very fucking quickly. I knew it from the first time. I'm on day 14. The first time I did it, I was like, what the fuck? Why the fuck is it just repetition of a mantra without, thinking, allowing myself to think thoughts and letting the mind wander and then go, oh shit, bring it back. And actually at the beginning, even now, I thought because of my left brain dominant, my right brain is heating up. Big left brain dominant still. I'm like, I force it back. I force the mantra back. Instead of letting the mind wander, I'm like, come back. And I'm still very aggressive. I have to tone that down. But my right brain is completely fucking transforming. I can feel it every session. Every 20-minute session, I can feel it within seconds. My right brain activated. The longer I sit there in that 20-minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I can feel something powerful going on. I can feel the elevation of consciousness of my state and vibration of my brain go up, not a little bit. It's almost like aged urine. I'll compare the two. I'll compare aged urine, the state of consciousness and everything, physical and emotional health goes up big time with aged urine drinking or aged urine massaging if you do long enough. Aged urine up the bum, all that stuff. That protocol I put with that. Everything else is subtle. Yeah, long dry fast too. But everything else we do in the physical health is just like little subtle things, which are brilliant. But what I want to promote and teach, and certainly from my experiences, I want to continue with the subtle stuff. I love all the subtle stuff, they're beautiful. But the foundational basis is what we need to elevate our consciousness and get ourselves to the happy, healthiest place we can be as fast as possible. That's why I promote it. Aged urine, fasting, grounding, sun gazing, yup. All these things are fucking amazing. But transcendental meditations put me today, for example. By the way, I'm reading a book. I was reading a few days ago a book. I haven't finished it yet. I'm really excited to get through it slowly. Called Transcendence, and it's about transcendental meditation by Rothenspol. And now that with any meditation, there's benefits that are short term in the moment, and then long term. The longer you practice, the better and more powerful you get. Now, I'm very excited to have read so far in the book that they've done studies on meditators of transcendental meditation that 2 months into it and then 16, 20 years into it. And like 2 months into it, when you're under a brain scan, that the brain of someone only is quite new to it, only 2 months in, is the same. The brainwave states go into alpha. The brain coherence, like its coordinate energy kind of matches up. The brain slows down, the alphas and thetas get activated. The same in someone that's doing it for 2 months as someone in 16 years. So very quickly you become as good almost as the people that are doing 16 years. However, what they found is that people that do it for 16 years plus, the transcendental meditation, have one thing different to the people that have just done it for 2 months in the studies. The people that do it for 16 years have, they outside of their 20-minute, 2 times 20-minute session, their brain waves are like the same almost as if they were meditating. So that's what happens when you commit to it. Commit to anything, but commit to this particularly transcendental meditation long term for years and years and years at a time. Basically, you can put yourself in that transcendent state. I get it now, by the way, that transcendent state. I know what it means. When the mind goes fucking quiet and silent, and there's another state of consciousness within us that's awake, like pure bliss and pure consciousness inside the avatar, we can access in the waking state. I get what the Mariachi says now. I get what David Lynch talks about. David Lynch Foundation promotes it. I get what Russell Brand's talking about with it. But anyway, 16 years in, you keep committing to twice daily, you can not only experience low-frequency brainwaves of bliss during your 20-minute session, like you can with 2 months in too, but at 16 years in, or a very long time in, when you come out during the day, during your waking state, which is why we do it, by the way, for the benefits on the waking state. We don't do it for the bliss, although it feels fucking good. You don't do it for how amazing you feel during it. You do it so that in your waking life, 23/7, doing your 9-to-5 jobs, doing whatever you want to do in your fucking life, you're at your top game. Well, their brainwave states are long term. So that, I'm trying to say, is what I'm excited about, because I've started to pick up on the fact now that my brain is really going into very crazy deep healing mode. Very crazy. My right brain is getting lit up. It was severely damaged, and my version of fixing it is just happening. And I'm committed to this one. Here's the thing. I go on and off with my habits, if they're subtle. So I talked at the beginning about subtle habits. Hand yoga mudras are subtle to me. What else is quite subtle to me? Sometimes I won't do all my breath works. I'm not perfect. So I try and make a stable foundation the most important. My point is with this 2 times 20 is what they recommend. By the way, I listened to a podcast today with Russell Brand, David Lynch. Those two heavily promote it. David Lynch has been doing it he's a very famous film director. guys. If you don't, check him out. He's got some crazy films. He's been doing it for 45 years. 45 years. He's been doing it twice daily, and he's never missed a day. I love that. And that's exactly going to be me. I know what I'm like. Once something's powerful, I don't step off the wagon of it. Plus, I don't need... It's not aged urine. Like, I run out of aged urine. I don't have any aged urine. Someone's chucked me aged urine out. I fucking don't have any aged urine. Haven't collected enough. Used it all up. This is different. This is just me and my body and eyes closed. Oh, by the way, you can do this anywhere. On a bus, on a train, on an airplane. With noisy around, it still fucking works. And that's very cool too. Very fucking cool. So yeah, I'm going to commit. And I'm very excited for... The past 2 weeks, I've just noticed improvements in like little things I'm doing different. My body mannerisms are more, I have more energy. My mannerisms are more masculine. That sounds weird, but how I feel about myself, my confidence has gone up. I feel more creative too. I feel more compassionate. All the things that are beautiful about the best of our personality. Flow, fucking hell, flow fucking is easy now. Flow's never been that hard for me. I've, aged urine and stuff, but I really am getting to, good flow with this. Yep, definitely. Osman, agreed. There's some mantras that do it. I'm just saying the word one, just Emily Fletcher's book, and having watched her videos previously, and I thought, well, that was pretty cool meditation, but not really listening to what she was saying years ago when she was saying there's a difference between mindfulness and her meditation, which is transcendental meditation, same thing. It's what she teaches in Aziva, it's the same fucking thing. There's a difference. I understand. I rewatched her videos, bought her book before I went to Isle a couple weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I tried it and I got addicted. And I'm like, holy shit, this is life changing. Now I do a little longer because I recognise that 2 times 20 not good enough for Harry. I mean, it is good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not I want quicker results. I just recognise my right brain's fucked up. So and I've got the time, so I do without trying really. Because by the way, the time flies. I never feel like, oh, fucking hell. You know how people say when meditating, average people of the Matrix, I guess? Maybe not us, but average people of the Matrix go, oh, it feels like so long. How am I supposed to sit still for 20 minutes with my mind going, blah, blah, blah. To me, no. Every time I sit down and do it, it feels great. And not only that, the time goes really fucking quick. So this morning, the time, I look at the time and I think, okay, I know it's longer than 20 minutes. What do you reckon it is? And each time is like 35 minutes, 40 minutes each session. I'm doing 3 times a day, really. I'm doing on the morning when I get up. I'm doing one in the evening, and it's about 6 p.m, 5, 6, 7, sunset time. Near enough then. And then also, before I go to bed, I do one keeping still too. So I'm doing a bit of Vipassana meditation. So I don't allow myself to move. So I'm messing about with, because I know that keeping the body still, Vipassana meditation is powerful. Vipassana meditation is keeping the body still with watching air through your nostrils, Vipassana meditation is keeping the body still, completely still, with mindfulness. So that could be with the breath, with the walking meditation, if you're doing walking meditation. No, it doesn't work with walking meditation, but you're keeping the body still. It's keeping the body still with breath or whatever sensations are going in your body whilst you're keeping the body still. So I'm messing about. My nighttime one is trying to see if that activates even more, and it does, obviously. If you keep still. Now, you're still going to get results from TM if you don't keep still. As they say in the book, Bob Roth and all that stuff. But, well, if I'm going to be there and I'm a bit more hardcore than most people, I'm going to, do longer. Commit to longer TM, and also and commit to it longer than just do less of the things like hand yoga and I'm doing hand yoga with. I mean, other stuff that's a bit more subtle, I'll do less of, so I can really play around with it. But my God, just a quick one. I put a post on earlier. Dave, by the way, I appreciate you guys watching. So I can, this is exciting times. Oh, very exciting. Today, for the first time, I had such a crazy experience. So I've been doing the 2 times 35 minutes a day. This morning at 8 a.m. and I did my yoga at 6 p.m. So 10 hours after. I didn't do the second session by that point. I just did yoga. So that was like 8 hours. 8 hours after I done my first TM this morning. 8 hours. I did my yoga. My first pose is always upside down. Shavasana, the mother of all yoga poses. Upside down, 5 minutes. I came out of that and I looked to the window. It's not even sunset time yet where the red light therapy's going on. I looked out after I just come out of it. And my mind went completely still and quiet. I was like, what the fuck? My mind never goes quiet. It felt amazing. I'm sure you guys have experienced this quite a lot. It's very cool, right? We can't quieten the mind all the time. But with that, it was the yoga. But really, I know the foundation that made that mind completely still for just 2 seconds. Felt awesome. It made me aware that our mind is constantly thinking all the time. It's only in contrast when you get silent mind sometimes, you realize that the mind is constantly thinking, right? Or when you're keeping still and trying to meditate and your mind won't shut up, it's like crazy. Then you realize it too. So yeah, my mind went completely still, and it was the yoga. I fucking love yoga, by the way. I fucking do. It's amazing. But it's a kind of slower activation in a way of looking at it that might upset people too. I mean, I really do fucking love yoga, but yeah. Anyway, my mind quieted, and it's really the transcendentation that's doing it. It's crazy what it's doing. It's messing about my brain waves and healing my right brain. It's definitely strengthening my corpus callosum quicker than anything. I'm doing red light therapy. I'm doing the red light machines. They do great for in brain hemisphere imbalances. Aged urine does amazing stuff for brain hemisphere imbalances, but none of them do as much as transcendental meditation. That's crazy. None of them do as much as that. What the fuck? As the mantra and the letting the mind wander and coming back to the mantra, and that's it. Oh, Nida, mate. I don't know if you're still watching. Nice one, bro. Nice one. Yeah, we like people that drink pee here. Because it's not a waste product. Simple as that. And it heals you. And it's like fucking your own blood. So, you know. And it's got hormones, vitamins, minerals, and enzymes and all that shit that's amazingly good. And you get high on it. So there we go. Yeah. So that's it. Transcendental meditation, man. It's simple. And I know that from 2 times 20 minutes, it's life-changing. You know, you just got to commit and do it. Like David Lynch has done it for 45 years. Never missed 2 times 20 minutes a day. Now, every session I've done since I started 2 weeks ago, I've done 3 of a day, all time, and I've never done one of 20 minutes. I think all of them have been at least half an hour. Half an hour to 40 minutes. All of them have been in that range. Some of them were 50 minutes too. I remember some of them were 50 minutes. So all of them between 30 and 50 minutes. It doesn't matter that, it doesn't mean you're not going to get results. You're going to get crazy results with 20 minutes. Even 15 minutes, because that's what Emily Fletcher talks about in a Ziva technique, which is the same thing. So you can try that shit and give it a go. And yeah, so fucking powerful. I feel so honoured. And I'm excited because this is, like I said, it's going to be non-stop. I'm going to get to that point, I'm pretty sure, of transcendence, of genuine seeing that fourth state of consciousness and losing track of where my body is. And going into that place of no time, no space, no time. I know it's going to happen because I'm committed. It's easy. I have the time. And by the way, if you don't have the time for meditation, be it any of them, but especially TM, if you don't have the time, that means you need to do it more. So that's no excuse not to do it, isn't it? Because it gives you back time. It gives you back time, doesn't it? It doesn't take away time. It adds time to your day. You're more present to whatever you're doing. Whatever you're fucking doing, you're more present. Right? So yeah, anyway, okay, peace, and yeah, just excited, and I hope whatever meditations you do, just be aware that mindfulness is good, but these are subtle things. We want to do you kind of want to get your base of the most strongest things, right? You know, your time is precious, my time is precious, and you want to be doing the best of the best, and I just feel like I wasn't aware of what was the best, and I thought the meditation and mindfulness and guided visualizations, guided meditations are all the same thing. They're not. Guided meditations are probably great. Loving kindness meditations are beautiful. They probably activate your compassion like nothing else. But this is the one that I'm finding is upgrading my personality and my health. And it's doing a lot of things for my body too. So without talking to you, it's doing a lot of things for my body. It's major healing. I heard something today that a good night's sleep on a podcast on TM. It was Bob Roth talking about it. He said that a good night's sleep reduces cortisol by 10%. Which is quite a lot, right? A good night's sleep, 10%. Well, transcendental meditation, just one 20-minute session, reduces it by 30 to 40%. So science studies. So there's 10% reduction in cortisol from sleep. Sleep is great. From a good night's sleep, great. Then there's 20 minutes in your waking state of transcendental meditation, reducing it by 30 to 40%. Mindfulness will not reduce it like that. Trust me. Mindfulness will reduce your cortisol. Probably a little bit like the sleep. Not as much as a TM. So there's a lot of deep stuff going on in the body. Like, I can't remember which one. Was it David Lynch or Russell Brand? As David Lynch said, when you get into that state of transcendence with transcendental meditation, that kind of that carries over to the body because the mind and the body are so intimately connected. When you do something really powerful for the brain, like transcendental meditation, that has a massive impact on the body. If you do something subtly good for the brain, it has a subtle impact for the body. Does that make sense? Physical mind-body connection. So when you do something really powerful for the body, just like aged urine, you take it in. It's very powerful for the body. So it activates the healing power in the mind too, right? So it's a carryover effect. You do something good for your kind of okay for your health, your brain, emotion, then it will help your physical. But if you do something really powerful like transcendental meditation for your brain, it really heals the body too. So ultimately, what I'm doing Transcendental meditation is not just my main reason why I'm here is to heal my damaged brain, my right brain hemisphere. That's the main reason, my purpose in life. That's outside of physical health, actually, even though I love physical health and I always talk about it. But the irony is that I'm doing things so powerful for my brain that it's healing my body so powerfully. So I get to do both. I get to have fun healing my body too, whilst I spend a lot of time on Transcendental meditation every day. So there we go. All right. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you, and have a lovely evening, and peace.